Brother lads, welcome back to Cossy Podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to brand new video. We're going to be diving into the latest around Arsenal. Julian Timber's done his medicals and he has completed them. He has also passed as well, if you wanted to know. Adagula has joined Real Madrid. Arsenal have lost that one in terms of the battle. Barcelona have also lost too. So looks like we're not the biggest losers. Kylian Mbappe's saga continues to the Premier League, with Arsenal being mentioned at the heart of the saga, and Granit Xhaka has been unveiled by Leverkusen. Hit the like button, subscribe to the podcast as well. Would you love to see Kylian Mbappe at Arsenal? The saga continues, and what do you think about Xhaka leaving eventually and being unveiled as shot number 34 of Leverkusen next season? Let's start off with the Julian Timber one, because it has been confirmed that he did fly into London yesterday. He's had his medicals today on Friday, and he has passed successfully. He's gonna sign his contract at the London Colony, and will join up with some of the players that are already training with Mikel Arteta. I've seen Gabriel Jesus is back. I've seen much of the bigger part of the squad is back. I've not seen any other players that are not part of the squad. Maybe William Saliba with that little knock and injury, but the rest of the squad is actually back in training. So Julian Timber is now fully an Arsenal player after passing the medicals. We're just waiting for the media duties to be done, and then it will be announced as a new Arsenal signing. It's a huge one, in my opinion, as one that will change Arsenal's backline, not only this season but also forever. It's one signing that I really see, either pushing Alexander Zinchenko out of the starting 11 or pushing Gabriel Magalhaes out of the starting 11 as well, because he gives us so many options. One, to play in a back three where you have Kieran Tierney, Gabriel Magalhaes and Saliba, and then Timber tagging into midfield. Or you could easily play Timber, Saliba and Gabriel, and then Zinchenko tags into midfield as well. So it's gonna be very, very interesting to see how he lines up at Arsenal. But medical's done. He has passed them, and it's a 45 million euro deal right from Ajax. One of those deals that we've done very, very easily. By the way, just to mention, Edwin van der Sar has been hospitalized, and I think it's been part of the deal that part of the team that actually agreed this deal with Arsenal. He's been hospitalized with a brain, I think, is it tumor, something like that. But big work done by Edu and the people at Ajax. It's been a very smooth deal. It's one of those deals that we've done, and I'm really, really at peace. I never felt that it was going to be hijacked. I never felt that we were never going to get him. Arsenal did their first bidding. It was very close to what Ajax wanted. Our second bid was really spot onto the money. You know, when you go into sign a player and your second bid is right on the money. Ajax only wanted a few things to be, ironed out. Probably how much we pay upfront. Probably how many installments are we going to use to sign Julian Timber. But the rest was absolutely slick. So Julian Timber is an Arsenal player as I speak, because medicals have been passed unless someone offers. I do not know. I really don't know, because I think the paperwork has also been signed between Ajax and Arsenal now. So I don't think it's a deal that can be hijacked. Medicals are done. It will take some extraordinary transfer business for someone to lure Timber away from Arsenal. So tomorrow, we might be saying Timber is in training with the rest of the lads to see how he's going to actually be fitting in. But it's one of the centre backs that everyone is giving the benefit of the doubt, despite the fact that they are not huge, despite the fact that they are not tall. Similar to Lisandro Martinez, not tall, not huge, but everyone says they're committed, they love the game, they understand the game, and they have very important attributes that not so many players have around the world. For me, my best centre-back in the world right now is Alejandro Bastoni. When I look at Julian Timber and look at Bastoni, I see a very, very similar profile. The difference with Bastoni is that he's huge, he's tall, he's got that ability in the air. Julian Timber doesn't have that, and probably one of the reasons why we might play him in that inverted right back situation. Okay, but if you've been asking yourself what's going on with Julian Timber, he's done his medicals today. He is a red boy. We will see him next season in that new Arsenal jersey that I really don't like, of course, but I've already ordered one, so that means that I have no way of running out. Okay. Now, Arsenal have lost their battle to sign Adagula, the young maestro from Fenerbahce. Now, a couple of clubs were actually running into for him. Now, I didn't know that Madrid were really interested, but of course, I had information that some clubs were really pushing to sign him, and one of those clubs was Arsenal and FC Barcelona. Arsenal did reach out to the father of the player, but maybe we did not convince him enough, and they decided to go with Real Madrid. Adagula is one of the players that have been dubbed as the next Messi, Messi Ozil, Jack Grealish, and Martin Odegaard. Everyone looks at him and he is satisfied. Everyone that looks at him is absolutely satisfied that Adagula is such a very quality player and is going to be a very, very high success in his career. Now, when a young player goes to a club like Madrid, Barcelona, at times I always have my questions. I've never thought that Arsenal is the best breeding ground for young players. You look at many of the young players that we've actually signed and how many of them have gone on to become, big stars ever since Arsene Wenger left the Emirates Stadium or even the Highbury. There are not so many of them. Back in the days when you signed Chess Fabregas and Alexander Song Belong, you expected those players to blossom, Samuel Nasri and the others. But in this day and age, Martinelli, yes. Which other player have we signed and we can be proud that is actually come from 18 or become from 18, 19, and then they become very, very very successful. I don't remember. I don't actually have a list of very, very many of them. So I thought Adagula, this one actually surprises me. He's gone to Real Madrid. I thought he would have gone to Dortmund. I thought he would have gone to Ajax. Those are very wonderful shots, especially with Mohamed Kudus getting out of Ajax. You want to occupy that spot. With Jude Bellingham getting out of Dortmund, you want to occupy that spot. But the father has decided that the boy will be playing at Real Madrid. He's going to be earning big money, of course, but in my opinion, absolutely wrong move. I'm not saying the Arsenal one was the right one, but I think it was a much better one than the one at Real Madrid. Of course, Madrid and Arsenal do have some kind of similarity, and that is both of us are kind of raising this young breed of players, and everybody can see. You have the likes of Odegaard, Vieira, Emile Smith-Rowe, Saka, Martinelli, at Arsenal. So a young player could be attracted to that kind of pool. I think the competition is fierce at Arsenal because we're trying to win the next league, okay? And that's why the competition is fierce. But there is a chance. At Real Madrid, there is even a bigger chance, actually, you could argue, for a player like Adagula, because if Valverde or Bellingham, actually, if one of them doesn't hit the ground running, Adagula could have a chance. If he's not taken to Real Madrid Castilla, he will have a big chance. But does he have a bigger chance of playing regularly for Real Madrid Los Blancos, the team that have to win the UEFA Champions League every year? Or does he have the chance to play for a Borussia Dortmund on every single day, just like Jude Bellingham did at just 17, 18, 16? In my opinion, it is the later rather than the former. But anyway, Gula goes there and Arsenal lose out. Barcelona lose out too as well. Now, Granit Xhaka has been announced and unveiled as a new Bayer Leverkusen player. That is also confirmed. He will be putting on shirt number 34. And he says, Arsenal fans, it has been a roller coaster. It's been a hell of a journey. 7 years, it's a long time. And it has redefined my career a lot. So it's time to say goodbye. It's the right time for me to go and try a new adventure. Xhaka leaves officially as Declan Rice arrives at Arsenal. Now, I've seen mixed reactions on Granit Xhaka. I've seen, warm messages. I've seen cold messages. I've seen mixed messages to the farewell of Granit Xhaka. I think, for me, you don't have a reason to be too harsh with Granit Xhaka. He's played with an Arsenal side that deserved nothing in the last 7 years, to be honest. I don't think Arsenal deserve to win anything with the organizations we've had in the last decade, with the quality of players we've been signing and the way we've been spending our money. I don't think we deserved anything. I don't think we've spent anywhere close to Manchester City's spending. I don't think we've spent anywhere close to Liverpool's spending to go, we deserve to be challenging Liverpool and Manchester City during that time that Xhaka was at the club. I also don't think that Arsenal have been organized to the levels of Manchester City, Man United, and Liverpool to go to the extent of fighting and competing with them. So Xhaka, despite the fact that he's been at Arsenal for 7 years, I think he's won 3 FA Cups, one with Mikel Arteta, one with Arsene Wenger, actually 2 with Arsene Wenger. The one that we beat Chelsea and the one that we beat I think was it Aston Villa? I think it was Aston Villa. And for me, that's the best you could ask of him as a winner in terms of winning. In terms of overall quality as a player, we will always question his ability, especially if Kai Havertz goes on to perform very well. Especially if Rice goes on to perform very well in that position, we will always ask the question of Granit Xhaka, was he ever good enough? In my opinion, I've already said it, that he's been an average player for 7 years, that we have at times hated too much, at times praised too much. Like last season, we praised him too much. Like in 2019, we actually hated on him, too much as well. He's been an average player that was never going to give us huge amounts of quality. But the fact that he was there in the first place, it means that, someone spotted him and someone signed him in that role. He was never going to become your Toni Kroos. He was never going to become your Andrea Pirlo. He was never going to be that player, right? And he's one of those signature signings of the last decade. Because him, Nicola Pepe, Marouane Chamakh, Olivier Giroud, those were mediocre signings. Those were average players that Arsenal signed because we could afford. That is all we could afford at the moment. Was there a weakness in scouting? Absolutely. Was there a weakness in managing funds and looking at who we could have signed? Whether we could have signed a much better player in that position? Absolutely as well. But now that he goes to Bayer Leverkusen, and I've seen a few farewell messages from Arsenal players, Saliba saying that he was their leader in the dressing room, and Trossard also saying that he was a friend and he wishes him the best in his journey. It just means that he was a cool guy. He was a good guy in the dressing room. But is he the guy that was going to lead us to a title charge? Never. Was he the guy that was going to lead us to a UEFA Champions League charge? Never. Right decision from Arsenal. Many people will disagree. Many people will feel heartbroken. I think we've just got rid of a very long-serving average player who was eventually crawling back into the ranks of being liked by many fans. I don't think we've lost a lot of quality. We've lost leadership. We've lost pedigree. That is all in my opinion. But in Declan Rice, you get back the leadership. In Kai Havertz, you get back the quality plus, plus in terms of upgrading. That is all. I don't think Arsenal really losing out on a very huge, prospect here, or in a very huge player. Like Madrid would lose Modric or Toni Kroos. The Kylian Mbappe saga continues, and I will do a video about Kylian Mbappe, of course, a second one, all right? But today, it appears that the Independent are saying that Arsenal would be a preferred destination for Kylian Mbappe if he was going to join the Premier League. It's quite ironic and very absurd that such stories are coming out of nowhere, and they absolutely make no sense. Now, PSG have actually released a secret, and they're saying that they have learned of Real Madrid's agreement with Kylian Mbappe to sign with them on a free next summer. They have also given him an ultimatum of 2 weeks, and that means that they will either extend his deal, that is if he agrees, or they will have to sell him. Now, I've only learned a few weeks ago from Simon Jordan on TalkSport that if a player is under contract, he can be sold. Like, you can be sold to another club. You are an asset, okay? So you cannot refuse to be sold. That is one thing I've learned from Simon Jordan. Now, with Kylian Mbappe coming to Arsenal a preference, a priority, that is bullshit. Like, that is absolute bullshit. Like Pep Guardiola said, we know where he wants to go. We know where he wants to play. And that's why Man City are not interested. That's why Man United are not interested. And that's why many clubs are actually, staying far away from the situation. for from Miguel Delaney to come and say that Arsenal are his preferred destination if it comes to the Premier League, it's not a bad joke, but it is a disgusting one. Like, it's a real big, disgusting joke. I think he will end up at Real Madrid. I don't see any way, shape, or form that it comes to Arsenal, but I can see him play in the Premier League. I can see him play at Manchester City. I can see him play at Man United. Man United will have the funds. And they have the connection with Nasser El Khalifi to bring him to the Premier League. I can see him play for Liverpool. Liverpool, whether they have the money or not, that begs the question. I can see him go to Barcelona. Barcelona do not have the funds, but he's a player worth risking everything, especially if you lost a player in the caliber of Messi, and you've not replaced him very well. Mbappe would be a player, a player to die for. But I don't see him at Arsenal. I just don't see him as an Arsenal player in an Arsenal jersey, and that's just my opinion anyway. That is what I think. I don't see him at Arsenal. I don't see him as an Arsenal player, but I will do a video detailing whatever has been put out there, linking him to Arsenal Football Club. I'll definitely, produce that video. See you very soon.